On the 26th of June, East West Rail held its second community drop-in event in Cambridgeshire, this time at Harston Village Hall. Over 300 people attended and were able to ask questions and find out more information about East West Rail's plans. So we put some of the most commonly asked questions to our strategy director, Will Gallagher. Question 1. How will East West Rail join the main railway line at Harston?
So the most important thing for us is to make sure we can, in a reliable way, join the line from London into Cambridge. So we'll be joining the King's Cross line in the Harston area. And the way we do that is through something called a grade separated junction. Now, what does that mean? That means that one line comes in and joins alongside the existing railway, whilst the other line takes a flyover over the existing line. And the reason that happens is so that when trains come from East West Rail, they don't need to cross lines moving in the opposite direction in order to get onto the main line. So we keep them separated, we grade separate them, so trains join the lines going in their respective directions, and what that means is you end up with a more reliable service, and you actually have to put less capacity, so we don't have to then four-track the King's Cross line from where we join into Cambridge. So by using the grade separated junction, we deliver a reliable service without having to put more lines on the route into Cambridge, and therefore saving some disruption there.
Question 2. Why is your line going to the south of Haslingfield and not to the north?
So we've looked very carefully at the route options in this area, but the most important thing is that we not look just at where it is in a specific location, but where it's coming from and where it's going to. And one of the key constraints is actually how we go from Haslingfield through to where we join the main line into London. And in that context, there are a lot of constraints if we take the northern approach rather than a southern route around Haslingfield. We do know that the local community is concerned about the impact of us taking that route, and that's why, responding to consultation feedback, we are looking at options, for example, a tunnel in the Chapel Hill area to reduce the impact as much as possible.
Question 3. How will East West Rail cross the A10? Will it be a viaduct, an underpass, or another level crossing?
So I think the first thing to say is that we won't be doing a level crossing. That's mainly because, as lots of people in this area know, level crossings can be quite disruptive to main roads with people trying to get into town. We then need to work out what is the right under or over the road solution. And in lots of areas, taking on board consultation feedback, we've done our best to go under roads to reduce the height of the route that we're taking. In this area, because we need to both get over the A10 and continue to that grade separated junction onto the main line, at the moment our thinking is that we do need to do that on a viaduct, because we can't go both under the A10 and under the railway on a grade separated junction. So that at the moment is the thing that we're looking at, but we're going to keep that design under review because we want to make sure we reduce the impact as much as possible on local communities.
Question 4. East West Rail will cross over many small rural roads in Cambridgeshire. How will you ensure these villages don't lose local connections?
You know, we are in the business of connecting communities, not cutting communities off. That's not always easy to do, but it's something we're very focused on. So in almost all of the roads where you see the railway going across, it'll either be because the railway is going under the road or on a bridge over the road. So we're doing everything we can to keep as many of those roads open for the local community as possible. Now, there are a small number of locations where we do need to actually close roads as they currently exist, but in all of those circumstances, we are putting a pedestrian crossing on site, and we're also creating road diversions, so building new roads to relieve the pressure and to make sure we're not cutting communities off.
And finally, question 5. Travel patterns have changed since COVID, so is there still a need for a new railway line?
We have looked at the impact of COVID on travel patterns. You are seeing quite a significant return in rail travel now. Some of that is back, commuters coming back to the office. Some of that is an increase in leisure travellers. And so we do think, particularly because we're building this railway for 100 years, not just tomorrow, that there is a trajectory of people coming back to rail travel and that demand returning. We have, though, as you'd expect, also tested some sensitivities around that. And I think we're confident in the circumstances that are coming to pass, though there is a case for East West Rail.
And we'll be holding more events across the region over the next few months. To find out details, go to the East West Rail website, or if you can't attend the events, then you can contact us by emailing contact@eastwestrail.co.uk.